Today is Thursday, the week before school starts. We have that big windstorm today, and it took down a tree that's now laying in the middle of my driveway. Anyhow, guys, I wanted to show you my shop, show you what's inside here. This first week, I really want to decide what students are going to be taking projects home that want to work on those and have those counted for grades, and what students are going to be participating with me online with videos and so forth. So this house here was a dead property before. It had stucco over the stone, and it had asphalt roofing that looked like bricks over top of all the woodwork. So I cleaned it all up, repointed it, repainted it, did all the windows, and it's now my shop. I turn off the radio. So here's my workbench. It's got a vise here, and I've got it's considered a hold down clamp. Goes down, put down a piece of material like this here. Goes on, gets hammered down, and now that is secure to the table real well. To get it back up, I just tap below it, comes off. That's the whole thing is down. That's in addition to the vise. The other thing this table has, which is pretty sweet, it has hydraulics. So if I want the table to go lower, press the pedal, table is lower, and if I want it higher, I raise the table up. So the reason for that is if I'm working on a cabinet, case, or a piece of furniture that sits pretty high, I can have it way low to the ground so I can work on the top portion of it and be able to adjust that. In this shop, this old house here, I've made use of all the hanging joists that are here. This is where a lot of my tools that I'm using at the workbench here go. I also have my trusty deer. Got that at a sale. Here's a product that's being glued up right now. This is a mortising machine. We have a small one of these over at our shop at school, but it has the arm that brings down the chisel. There's the chisel right there. It has a bit inside of it. Some sawhorses outside. This also has left to right wheel. It also has in and out, so you can wheel them both. This is a small workbench that my wife bought, and it had 4 drawers missing, so I had to make 4 drawers for it. So those are the drawers that I made there. And here is my, it's really for the kids. I put a little vise on there for them. Here are my gouges. Up here, they're all in order. Here's some Indian arrowheads. And there's my state of Pennsylvania. That's what I use to paint my quoits with. I also use the ceiling to hold some of my clamps. I have more clamps over here. And you can see that this week is the first week of fishing, trout season. So I have my waders there. I have nice waders, but I am not a good fisherman. Sorry, Kyle, I'm not that great. I took my kids out the other day, and I had to get I casted once, and I had to get their stuff out of the trees probably 4 times. My workbench there with all of my drawers and cabinets where I have my sanders and hardware, and all my routers are up at the top there, bits there. I also have a drawer full of router bits here. Drill press, screw container, and a little bit of a library of things I use more often. I also have this little library over here of things I use more often. Barn art, because I do appreciate barns that have signs on them. You can see my barn out here has a hex sign that my wife's friend made for us. And then here is my machining area. So I have a joiner. The first step is squaring process. This is an 8-inch joiner made by Grizzly. And then I have a planer. This is a 12-inch DeWalt planer. They sell them at Home Depot and Lowe's. I bought this one at a garage sale because I wasn't going to spend what they're asking at a Home Depot or a Lowe's. And here's my table saw. My table saw is a saw stop, and it also has a pump jack, so I can raise this table saw up so I can move it around. So if I have longer boards that I need to get in here, I can move it around pretty easily. These are my shutters from my home across the street that are going to be done this year, this summer. By the end of the summer, I'll have those all up, repainted and ready to go. This is the router table. I have it in close proximity to my vacuum here, which is right now tucked into my disc sander and belt sander. And my fish sculpture hanging from the top there. I have different patterns and things from different projects. And right now, that's my dust collection. However, I bought a central dust collection at a garage sale again. Not a garage sale, actually. It was a cabinetry business that was going out of business. So I bought a central vacuum system, which I want to put in a room that I just fixed up out here. My bandsaw is over here. My new electrical that I just put in, 200 amp service. And here are all my hand tools, just kind of waiting in here. It's a spot to like throw them. So that closes up. Okay. These are molding planes. There's a German horn plane. They're kind of fun to use occasionally. My bandsaw is a 19 inch. The one we have at school is a 14 inch. That means from the blade to the neck here, where the band goes around the outside here, that space in between there, that is 19 inches. So it's 5 inches bigger than what we have at school. That's what it looks like inside. My vacuum room that I just did is in here. So what I just did was I did not have any opening here at all. So I cut out an opening and I put a new window in there, one that could be lifted up and then clamped up to this carabiner up top. This window here, I just put slides in so I can move it up and down just by lifting and lowering it. So in here is where the vacuum system is going to go. And because I'm really just a steward of this house, trying to keep it in good condition for people in future generations, I don't want to. I had a pipe here that I was going to put my vacuum system in through, and then I was going to have it running underneath the floor of the room and have a cutout for where it went up through the floor. And I don't necessarily want to cut anything out in here. So what I'll more likely do is this pane of glass, you see there's no glazing around it. I'm going to take that pane out, put a piece of plywood in place of it, and I'm going to run the ductwork coming out through the window here instead, and it will go to the vacuum system up here in the corner here. Let's get this wasp nest out of here. Wow, it's still cold enough that nobody's living in there. So here's my back porch. This is where I sit and look out at the river here. The Mantuani Creek behind my house here. This is a building I just finished up the windows for. This is going to be my blacksmith shop eventually. So it has a fireplace inside. It used to be what they would use for a bake oven. They call it a summer kitchen because they wouldn't do their cooking inside during the summer, they would do it outside. So we have a hearth in there for baking, and down below just some scrap area. But I'm just going to put in my forge, which is right here. I'm going to put it over top of some bricks that I'm going to lay in here, and I'm going to make a new floor in here. That'll be the next few weeks. I'll get started with that. But here's looking outside the blacksmith shop. Porch that I put on here is made of a wood called Ipe, I-P-E. Ipe is a very hard wood that you don't really need to finish, and it'll last for a long period of time. This post here is also made out of Ipe. And I got these feet for it from Temple Aluminum Foundry, which they match the original ones that were on here. So here's the outside of this room, the vacuum room. 2 windows that I just put in, there and there. I'm in the middle of painting that top window there for the attic. That's why I have that ladder up there still. My cellar doors, which really has nothing in it because the only thing I'm using in there is a sump pump. I do get water in here. The water table gets up pretty high, being right on the river here. But one thing I showed some people in another video, but it's interesting to me, is that someone left this bicycle here a long time ago. This bicycle is now part of this tree. And what makes it great is that it's a Schwinn with the monkey handlebars and a banana seat that goes in the back there. So it's a cool one. I have one source of heat in here. This propane tank runs through the wall here. The gas line runs through, and it has a little heater in my shop, which allows me to keep at least the portion where my workbench is, that room, warm. And then if I've used the machines, I just put a coat on and come out here and work with the machines. This is all new also, the roof in here, because the other one had really done badly through the years and it was sagging down, so I replaced it. Nice to have in a shop is a retractable cord here also that I'm able to take around and drag outside to do some work outside, so I can keep some of the sawdust outside rather than being in here the whole time. Anyhow, this first week, all I want you to do is to write down some questions or comments that you have about my shop, and I'm going to find out who exactly is going to be taking materials. Materials I will be handing out on Wednesday between 11 and 12:30 at the high school. If you're interested in getting those, that's when you can get those from me then. I'm going to post this video as early as when I walk inside the house, so that people will be able to look at it, make their comments, and decide where they're going to take their materials. Only take them if you're going to need them or going to be able to use them while you're away here. Also, some seniors, I'm going to try to finish some senior projects. Case in point, I brought home materials for Lauren. Your project is here. It's something that I'll probably work on because we have a lot of money invested in these materials. I would like to get that going for you. Anything else to talk to you guys about? I think that's it. All the electric in here, I ran this when I got the place. There's no bathroom in here. There's no running water in here, which makes it a dead property. And this area does flood, although I've never seen it flood all the way up to this house here. I've seen it flood as far as the back edge of the summer kitchen. So we do get water around here. Anyhow, there's my heater and there's my air conditioner. So this room is climate controlled in that respect. Okay? Anyways, do make a comment. I'll talk to you guys soon.